together, are, and what we do. We are a founding member of the Football League. We are 1884. We are positive, inspired, and passionate. We are now. We are moving together. We are ambitious and driven. We are progress. We are change. We are prepared, honest, and humble. We are the highs. We are the lows. We are the heartbeat of our community. We are the famous black and white. We are the dreams come true. We are the club of opportunity. We are the memories. We are the yet to come. We are Derby.
Complete faith in you lot as a group. The bench is significantly stronger than theirs and we'll make change when we have to. And I can't express it enough to you. You have to gas out, you have to be brave on set pieces, right? And I brought all them in the room, so I want you to look at them. Because they're the people that work hour upon hour upon hour trying to help you all the time. And they're the people that will be there at the end of it to congratulate you or to be sorry for you. But they're the people you're playing for. All the people on the fucking wing wall you're playing for. And you could achieve something great. You could. And all I ask is you give it your best. Give it your fucking best. If it ain't your day, fine, get off, I'll send one of the game changers on. It's absolutely fine. But you have to start off with the mentality that you're going out to win the football game. That you're playing fearless. And you have to accept the fact some things you do aren't going to be perfect. So you might not get the opportunity to hit the perfect shot, the perfect cross. You might lose the ball twice when you get out. Don't give a fuck. Get at them again. Get at them again. There's not much I regret about my career. The thing I do regret is I didn't live in the moment enough. I didn't. It was about get the game done next game, get the game done next game. Don't enjoy anything. You're gonna learn that. Please live in the moment.
Hello and welcome to the preview show from RamsTV. Derby County are on the south coast tonight for a game that needs absolutely no build-up at all. It's first against second in League One. Portsmouth against the Rams. Derby looking to move within 2 points of top spot in League One. It's the final game of the Easter weekend as well. Let's get you caught up with everything that's happened yesterday. The chasing pack all did what they needed to do to put the pressure on ahead of tonight's game. Bolton thumped Reading. Aaron Collins got a hat-trick there. Barnsley continued to be brilliant on the road, winning 3-1 at Burton. And Peterborough got the better of Leyton Orient. Have to mention Lincoln as well. Another win for them, this time at Carlisle, keeps them in the top 6. We'll look at the table later, but all you really need to know is that Portsmouth and Derby are the top 2 in League One. We'll talk about the hosts a little bit later, but we'll start with the Rams and hear from a man who wore the captain's armband for the first time, leading Derby out against Blackpool on Friday. Nathaniel Mendez-Laing.
A very proud moment for myself. Look, we all know who our captain is, and he's a great captain, leads by example. And with him being absent on the pitch, it was an honour for me to lead the team out, and obviously nice for a win as well.
There's so many leaders in that room, so many people that could have worn it. How surprised were you?
Yeah, there is. Look, you got Cash now, just some of the senior boys, but we had a bit of banter about it in training the day before. Gaffer obviously said, "Look, we'll decide tomorrow." And when I came in and seen the armband in my space, it was a nice touch.
You've been here a couple of years now. You signed the new contract back in January to stay for a couple more. You're approaching 100 appearances for the club as well. I think you should get there before the end of the season. I think I've asked you a similar question before, but does this feel like your club now? Yeah,
definitely. Like I just said, it's probably the most appearances I've had for a single club. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's a nice feeling. You know, I feel at home. It's a great place to be around. All the staff, like from here at Moor Farm to Pride Park. You know, it's somewhere where I'm really settled and enjoying my time.
How quickly did that feeling come? Was it pretty immediate when you walked in the door?
Yeah, I think, you know, I've said before, firstly it was not being too far from home. And then, you know, just over time, you know, you get to know everyone, you get a feel for the place, and that came quite quick. There was quite a few new boys as well at the time when I signed. So yeah, it all just came together. You know, last season, I think, although we didn't get to where we wanted to, it was still a push in the right direction. And yeah, this season it just feels a lot more homely, if you say.
You've had a terrific season, still leading the league in assists. What do you think's allowed you to get to that next level?
Obviously my teammates, firstly, you know, and I have to give credit to the coaches as well. Like I get a bit more of a freedom. Whether that's like, you know, drifting inside or staying wide, playing up front in the 10, a various number of positions, and you know, like I've got that confidence of like, look, when you're in the final third, just go and do what you do, and look, if it don't come off, it don't come off. You know, we work hard to get the ball back, and as long as we're doing that, then you know, I just feel comfortable to go out there and just perform.
Back to Friday, great win over Blackpool. Great goal to win it, the sort of goal that I think any player on the pitch would have been delighted to score. How pleased were you that it was Ibu Adams that got it?
Yeah, I was buzzing for him because, to be honest, I was one of the lads giving him a bit of stick from the Northampton game, and he's a top guy, he's a great guy. Lovely to be around on and off the field. You know, on the field, I always feel like we'll have a chat before we go out, and it's like, look, Nat, go and do your stuff up there, and I've got you behind, and it's nice to have that, you know. And yeah, I was right behind it, to be fair, and it was a great finish, and no one deserves it more than him.
It sets you up nicely for Tuesday, first against second. I mean, these are the sort of games that you want to be involved in, right?
Yeah, for sure. I just drove in with Kane there, and we was talking about it. Like, it's not. You know, when I was probably younger, it would be like a bit nervy, maybe. But this, like, it's exciting. Can't wait for the game. It's going to be some great atmosphere. It looks like a nice pitch. And first versus second, like, what more can you ask for? You know, it's a great game to play in, and you know, hopefully we can go and get the job done.
Nathaniel Mendez-Laing there, a former Portsmouth loanee many moons ago, now a Ram through and through, as you were hearing. Well, Portsmouth very close to clinching promotion back to the Championship now. Friday's win at Wycombe means they only need 8 more points to clinch a return. And they might not even need that many, depending on what the teams behind them do, Derby included. Friday saw striker Colby Bishop get his 17th and 18th league goals of the season in a 3-1 win at Adams Park. Not an easy place to go these days. Pompey are in great form. They're unbeaten in 13 games and on a 5-match winning streak. Only 2 teams have won at Fratton Park all season. That was Leyton Orient in January and Blackpool way back in November. Yeah, it is looking like only a matter of time until Portsmouth clinch promotion. Andrew Moon commentates on Pompey for BBC Radio Solent.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm totally with you. It is a when, not if. I'm not sure that 2 other teams are even going to get to 87. So Portsmouth might almost be at the line, and they've lost 4 games all season, so they're not just going to reel off 5 losses, and even if they did, it might be enough. The players and management and coaching staff are refusing to allow themselves to think like that at the moment for understandable reasons. They're really, really trying to push home the mantra of 1 game at a time, and I can see why. You've worked so hard to get to where you are. They are viewing that they still need to go out and win every game if they're going to win promotion. And to be honest, on Friday at Wycombe, that's not an easy fixture. They were very, very impressive. And they have been really, since they got hammered at home to Leyton Orient back in January, they've been excellent since then. And if they keep playing anywhere near the level they have, they will cruise home from here. But they're still very much emphasising the job is not done yet.
And it's a job that's been done amongst maybe not an injury crisis, but I feel as though every game, every weekend when I've checked Portsmouth's match report, there's another injury. How has John Mousinho sort of managed his way through this?
It's been tricky. You look for the win at Peterborough a couple of weeks ago that felt a vital win. And you could argue that it was the second choice back four out, that you could have someone in each of those positions who might be preferred. Yeah, I'm sure a couple of those players, the way they're playing, would disagree. They have emphasised all season it's a squad game. We always hear that. But to be fair, the players that have stepped in really impressively. You know, Sean Raggett has been at Pompey for longer than anyone else, 5 years. He was dropped at the start of the season. Paul went injured. He came in. They signed Tom McIntyre in January. Raggett went out the side. He breaks his ankle. Raggett back in. And the players who have come in, they've not sulked. They've just come into the side and done a really good job. And there's just so many times where Pompey have needed a backup. Even when Colby Bishop went down the back end of last year, Cassini Yengi came in and was absolutely magnificent, particularly against Bolton on a Monday night game. That he was fantastic. So the squad players have stepped up and come in when they've needed to. And I guess that's something you need all the time, but particularly when you keep being as unlucky with injuries as Pompey have been. And it just felt injury after injury. But I would say it's been a bit bend but don't break. There's been a couple of times when you looked at the side and thought, wow, if this player or that player suddenly went down now, Pompey would be in trouble. But it's never quite, there's always been somebody left to fill the role.
How impressive have you been with John Mousinho? I mean, I know Oxford are missing him massively and have been since he left to join Portsmouth middle of last season, because they finished last season well under him, Pompey, didn't they?
Yeah, second half of last season, if you'd extrapolated it out to the first half and doubled the points tally, he had 23 games. That would have been good enough. He got 39 points. That would have been good enough to make the playoffs, which was a pretty impressive achievement. He was probably as surprised as anyone to get the job, and he would admit that. And it was a very left field choice, but he's been very impressive because there's just so many things he got straight away. He's obviously a naturally good communicator, so that's helped. But I think one of the most impressive things is there's been no micromanagement. He's come in and he's let the members of staff, a lot of whom were already here, do their jobs. For example, at Oxford, he did all the set pieces. So you'd naturally have thought he'd have come into Pompey and said, right, well, that's my area. I'm going to take charge of that. No, Joe Perdomo, the goalkeeping coach, was in charge of set pieces, done fairly well. He said, no, that's your job. You keep doing that. And I think that the ability to resist micromanaging, which must be difficult in your first job, has been hugely impressive. He's trusted the people around him, and that ultimately has been crucial in getting the team to where they are.
There's so much talk about style these days. I know there's lots of conversations had amongst Derby supporters about it, and we see all sorts in League One in particular. Is there a Mousinho ball? How does this Portsmouth side like to play under him?
It's probably a bit more pragmatic. We've seen a lot of variety over the years. We saw Paul Cook in League Two that was going to pass and pass some more. We saw Kenny Jackett, who was just going to play it fairly pragmatic and play it long. And Danny Cowley probably did a bit of the two. He likes his sides to press, but not relentlessly. There are times they'll press and there are times they'll sit back. They do like to move the ball around at the back, and you'll often see the ball being passed amongst the back four, but they're not afraid to knock it long into the channels when necessary. And you've got someone like Colby Bishop, who's obviously very strong. And I think that's been, again, one of the really impressive things with Mousinho. He's been able to make subtle tactical changes within matches that have made a difference. And he's not completely wedded to one particular style of play. He's happy to mix things up depending on what's appropriate.
The BBC's Andrew Moon with some of the secrets to Portsmouth's success so far this season. There could be a big night for them. Could be a notable night for Derby as well, of course, going for that record 13th away win of the season. Could be Paul Warne's 50th win in charge of the Rams tonight as well. Let's hear from the Derby boss. A bit of an injury update to come. First, his assessment of tonight's hosts.
Good, they're top. If we're building it up, they're top. Only lost 4 games, really good. They ended last season well. And they've had to suffer injuries, like most of the top teams have, in fairness. They've got a lot of injuries as well, but got a good team, and they've just found a way to win. They had a dodgy spell, I think about, not a dodgy spell, but, you know.
For them,
their team, their fan base, not dissimilar to ours, want to win every single game, and a draw is a bad result. So they had a bit of a wobble, but they've came through. I think they've won 5 in 7, drawn 2. Probably one of the only teams in the top 6 that have convincingly done it week in, week out. They have drawn a lot though, hence why we're still close to them, and we've lost 10. So we have a whole attitude here of just go for wins at all times. They might have a different attitude possibly. So I think they've done really well. I like the way they play. I do like their team, and it's no surprise that, you know, they've been the most consistent and deserve their place.
I know you always say any win is a good win. But
yeah, no bad ones.
Friday's win felt like a very good win to come into Tuesday's game.
Yeah, I think, especially coming off the back of Northampton, look, in my hedonistic days, I thought if we could beat Northampton, beat Blackpool, we could go into this game 2 points behind Pompey, you could win, you could go top. This is all the perfect storm, isn't it? We didn't take our chances at Northampton, take away the performance. If you don't take your chances, it doesn't matter who you are. So if you don't take your chances, so it was important in the next 2 games really to get minimum 3 points. And obviously you want max 6, but you got to get minimum 3. So to get that one out of the way, weirdly takes a bit of pressure off this game, because if you lose back to back to back, then all of a sudden, you know, confidence could be an issue. It shouldn't be, but it could be. So you don't want trends like that this late in the season. So that it was a big win. It was an amazing goal from an amazing human being. So it just was pretty, pretty perfect as a day goes. Really, we didn't really. Don't remember loads of chances we conceded, but it was 2 good teams. They're a really good League One team, as are we. So it was a good win. It did feel good. It's great to win your home games, and you know we've got 2 massive home games left and 3 on our travels to get to where we want to get to. So yeah, it was a good win. It was enjoyable. It was exhausting, but that's the fun of the fair, isn't it? That's what you want.
Same squad as Friday?
Yeah, I don't think I've got any dramas. However, it's very early, isn't it? So it won't be the same if we didn't throw a little curveball in. We'll have to try and, like I said, try and pick a team that we think can neutralise them the best, but also give us our best chance going forward. So got some really promising performances in recent weeks. I love, I've said it loads of times, not trying to go around and literally kiss everyone's butt, but I love Wardy's deliveries and forward thinking. I love Kane's just joy really watching Kane play. But then, like, I thought Corey really showed parts of why we brought him to the club the other day, which is great. Obviously Nat's fit, which is great. So as an attacking unit, I really like what we're doing. So, but it will be a tough game against, you know, arguably the best team in the league. So we're going to have to be at our best.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There is Derby boss Paul Warne. A reminder, in case you needed it, of how the League One table stands ahead of tonight. Portsmouth top, Derby second, 5 points back. Bolton now within 3 points of the Rams. The playoff race looking interesting. Stevenage now at risk of dropping out of it. Time almost up for Carlisle, probably Fleetwood as well, but Cheltenham and Port Vale have every chance of getting out of trouble. Burton looking vulnerable. But it is all about the promotion race tonight. Derby County facing Portsmouth at Fratton Park. You can watch it on RamsTV. If you're an overseas viewer, get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. We'll be back here with reaction after the game in the Derby debrief as well. Whatever happens down on the south coast, do join us for that if you can. For now, goodbye.